Unfortunately, we didn't get as far as we wanted to. Get this frame all situated. We're gonna start having some fun. This is gonna be a good video. I hope you guys stick around. Get the tires and wheels off of this. Start pulling that suspension off. It's been so cold here that everything is frozen. I got a heater going in the background in addition to 2 mini splits in the shop, and it's spray foam. It's insane. I hope this cold snap breaks soon. I'm ready for summer. I need a house in Florida is what I need. I can disappear from New York for 3 or 4 months out of the year. Okay, let's get the, I think we'll go and get the steering out of here next. Get this old steering box out of the way. Start making some progress. Don't need this no more. We are going to a manual steering rack on this. I'll show you guys that quick. So 417 Motorsports tube front end is a really cool kit. It already comes with the manual rack all installed, and it also comes with your bumper and core support mounts already all made on it, so you don't have any guesswork there, which is nice. And then basically that indexes on the rear lower control arm mount. This slides in the frame rails that we cut off, and then there's some gussets that weld on. So we'll do that when we get the rest of the suspension off the front and the rear. Got to get some pliers. Old rusty cotter pins, gotta love them. Probably just bust the nut right off with them. They ain't gonna come out. Those things are welded in there. We got pretty lucky with rust so far, so I can't complain. Get this brake disconnected. Well, come on and get out of there. Rust. Can't complain though. The rest of the truck was absolutely beautiful. So I guess some rusty bolts. We'll take that as a win. Oop. That ain't gonna work. Really excited to start playing with my new welder. Even that came off nice. Anything else this size on here? These guys? Nope, those are smaller. I guess we'll get this side out right away. Another win. I wonder if I can just hammer these out instead of using a ball joint separator. I guess so. Let's see if this side does it. Oh, loving it. It's a great thing when a plan comes together. Let's see here. That's a 20. What size is this thing? Seems too big. All right, where's my 18 millimeter socket? No matter how organized you try to stay, it never works. That's 19. Where in the devil? I have no idea. Found it. Those bolts are way in there. We're gonna need an extension. Let's see here. Here we go. Am I excluding you guys? Here. I don't know if you want to actually watch me do this or not, but there you go. That's better. Oh my. I wonder if we can get it without the extension. If you don't know, when you put an extension on something, it sometimes has a tendency, it has a lot of spring to it. So if you got a tight bolt that's really hard to get off, sometimes an extension it decreases your torque on the wrench, on the impact rather. Let's see here. We'll go to a 3-inch extension. That might give us the power we need. Otherwise, we got to go to the big impact. Where is it? Wow. The locket's gone forever. I have to get a magnet for that one. We are cutting the frame off, but we're not doing that yet. And I need my socket back. Here we go. Let's see here. It's like fishing. This is what mechanics do for fishing. Got it. He's spinning. There it goes. One. Now, where in the devil is this second one? There it is. Don't drop it. Good. One more piece to the puzzle. And even after pressure washing it, degreasing it, hitting it with the sandblaster, and all of that other fun stuff, there's still grease on this thing. Unreal. Oh, those are little sockets. I don't even know what size those are. Smaller than that, probably. They look like 10s almost. That's exactly what they are. Oh, I almost forgot. Check this out. I got a package. What was it, yesterday? Or the day before? Here, let's see. I'll show you guys. I actually got 2 packages for this. This is the first one. I'm kind of excited about this one. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope they came out good. Because to be completely honest with you, they're not cheap. And if they look bad, one of those things where you don't get a refund. So, we got shop banners made. I got my first after hours banner. And then I also made, for my buddy Teddy, who owns Patriot Pro Tools, I made him a couple of his Matco banners. So, here, I'll lay this down. Actually came out really good. I like the white and black two-tone. So that's the first one. I got one made for me, and I made one for him. So we're going to hang these up in the shop. And I also got my very first after hours banner made for the channel. And here it is. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Let me know what you guys think of this. So, it's hard to pick up on camera, but I did this, they call it a weathered look to my logo, and I want to put that on all my shirts. That's cool. I want to put that on my shirts like that. I want the logo to have that weathered feel to it. And also on my shirts, we're going to be doing a American flag on one sleeve. That is no questions asked. That's going to be on anything I produce. This channel direction is going to be very focused towards veterans, and I don't know how I'm going to structure it yet, but it would be really cool to have the channel incorporate veterans and a way to give back. So whether that be shows, races, ride-alongs, or just a conversation. Mental health is a huge thing, and I know I'm veering off my channel right now, but if anybody wants to talk, I'm always a message away. And if you message me, I'll give you my cell phone number. I'm willing to talk to anybody that needs somebody to talk to. You know, I have a saying where my eyes and ears are open, my mouth's shut. So if you need to talk to somebody and you don't want to talk to me, talk to someone. But I'm always a call away for you guys. Appreciate everything you sacrifice for us. But back on topic, like the weathered logo, I think we're going to do this on the front of the shirt and the American flag on one of the sleeves. And then after I get those up, we're going to go to getting some really cool designs made. I have some really awesome shirt ideas that I want to do. So just wanted to show you guys that. Now we'll get back to work. But leave a comment and let me know what you think. I really want your input on this. What do you guys want to wear? I'm trying to make it so it's something I would wear. I'm kind of picky. I don't really like tacky stuff, but I like fun stuff. So it's got to work in all situations for everybody. All right, back to business. Let's start getting these brakes and stuff off of here. This is an 11, which is not going to work. 12. Nope, it's a 13. Now, where is the 13? This guy? Yep. There it is. I can only guess at what you guys want to see in terms of the build. So, it can only get better if you guys chime in. I want to hear your input. I want to do a lot of cool stuff here. I want you guys to come along. For me, this car stuff is my sanity in this crazy world. Even though it makes us even more crazy, it's a good kind of crazy. So I like to share that with everybody. And this truck's not a budget build. I'm on a budget, but it's not a budget build. I'm trying to build something beautiful here. But you can do a lot of really cool projects, really simple and really affordable. So, all right, get this control arm off. All right, I'm going to get to work on this. You guys don't need to see me take apart every nut and bolt on this. It was a good talk. I'm going to probably do a time lapse here, just stripping everything down. I'm going to turn my radio on. This monetized stuff is a pain. So I'm going to listen to my radio, put you guys on fast forward, and you can watch me strip this thing down. Then the fun begins. Alright everybody, we got this thing out, whole front end's off now. I got some plastic tabs to clean up and brackets and little clips and stuff, but pretty much the front end is completely disassembled now. We got bare frame. So we'll move on to the rear, get that rear axle out of there. I'm really ready for summer. I can't wait till it's nice outside again. Let's put this thing up on the lift and pop the U-bolts out, I think. I got the front end strapped to the lift so that the extra weight won't tip it, but hopefully I survive it. Time will tell. I'm really looking forward to trying out the new plasma cutter. I haven't used my new one yet. Last time I had one was 15 years ago, and it was a piece of junk, honestly, but it was fun to use. I think just for safety, yes, safety, I said it, I'm going to put a pole jack underneath the back of this. If I can find them. I don't know where they are. How do you miss a huge pole jack? Where'd he go? I'm losing my mind. Right in front of me. All right, so just for the time being, we're gonna slam this thing up underneath here. I do try to avoid accidents sometimes. And honestly, no one's at home and I can't reach my phone if this thing falls on me too, so probably a good idea just to have a little something here. Wonderful. Oh! Up and up. There it goes. Oh my God. All right, let's see. What size are these? I have no idea. No, that's way too small. U-bolts are 21 millimeter. Ooh, they're on there. They're really on there. We're gonna have to put the big guy on here. I'm gonna put my safety glasses on here too, just in case we have a socket break, because I'm not using impact sockets. Again, don't do what I do. There we go. What a monster. I love this thing. If it can't unbolt it, it'll break it. That's a guarantee. There is no in between. Forgot the shock was attached. I thought that would be a little more dramatic. Apparently not. There it goes. A little rust on the U-bolts there. Guess that's to be expected. Come on. Whew. Ow. Bolt's hot. I don't need that or this. Now, let's make sure all things are disconnected. Let's get this brake cable here out of the way. That's all disconnected. So right now, the axle is free to come out of the frame. So we will lower this back down on the ground and drop that thing out of there and unbolt these shocks. Careful, don't fall down. All right, we survived. Frame is surprisingly barely pushing my lift down. thing I'm gonna do is throw a dolly under here, grab one of my wheel stands that I made, got that pretty centered. All right, now the axle is completely separated from everything else. We can unbolt these leaf springs, unbolt these shocks, get all this stuff out of here. I think we'll get the leaf springs out first, push the rear end out of the way, put the lift back up in the air with the frame, and then get to the shock bolts from underneath. No point in laying on the ground if we don't have to. That is a 21. Where is our 21? We're not using the rear shackles either. We have a whole new setup for that. You'll have to stick around and I'll show you guys all cool parts we got from Funkhauser Race Cars. Matt's an awesome dude. You need rear suspension or a custom rear end, hit up Funkhauser Race Cars. Matt's a top-notch guy. Support your small businesses. Yeah, there. All right, backs are down. We'll unbolt the fronts now. All right, that is one leaf spring out of the truck. Garbage. Maybe we'll try to forge a knife or something out of a leaf spring. Something I always wanted to do. Spring steel is great for making knives. I don't know if any of you are into knives, but I am. Love a good knife. Always wanted to try making one. My brother-in-law got into it, and he made me a knife. It was really awesome. That was an awesome gift to receive. Really appreciate that. But something I always wanted to try myself. Of course, this one wants to be stubborn. There's always one, usually all of them. Who are we kidding? I've been really lucky on this truck so far. 2 leaf springs. Not gonna lie, I probably looked for an S10 for 2 years. That was the perfect candidate, and I finally found one. Upsy daisy. Oh, we forgot something. What did we forget? Oh, brake line's still in there. Hang on. I'll lower this down a little bit. Forgot to disconnect the brake line. We'll get that quick. One of the retainer clips, it's of course old and rusted. There it goes. Come on. There we go. That's out of there. That should just, like that, come right out. Stuff this thing in here for now. Now we can go up. Come on. Go. See here. Not sure what size those are. Now we're gonna have to get to them with a wrench from the looks of it because the shock's in the way. Oh, unless I can push it up like that. We can do that. See how rusted these bolts are. That's not bad at all. Came right out. What a pleasant surprise. Hey, we actually get those bolts out of there. They're spinning. 13 millimeter. Oh no, they're much smaller on top. Let's see, what size are those? Look like a 10 millimeter. That's exactly what they are, 10. We're gonna need a stubby, I think, though. It came right out. I can't believe it. Even how rusted those were. That's always a pleasant surprise. Actually blown away. Now this should fall right out. Beautiful. Well, fellas and ladies, front suspension's out, rear suspension's out, axles are out. Well, axle, there's no front axles in this because it's 2-wheel drive. So I'm gonna lower this down. I'm gonna clean up my mess because I can't work in a mess. So I'll clean up my mess and we'll bring you back in here. We'll start getting this thing on jack stands and leveled up and all the fun stuff. See you in a minute. We got everything cleaned up. I'm gonna lower this thing down, pull the rest of these plastic clips and miscellaneous things off the frame. It's real now. There ain't no going back. Not that we'd want to anyway. This is gonna be an awesome build. Hope you guys enjoy this. Waiting to hear from the people that are building the motor for my Trailblazer. I guess I can tell you about it. I was gonna wait, but the place is frustrating me a little bit because they're not sticking to their deadlines, and it is a very large, well-known place, and the first motor didn't go so well. So after a bit of back and forth, actually a lot of back and forth, we came to an agreement, and they're supposed to be making me another engine. However, they told me I would have it already, as in have it the end of January, and they still haven't even finished putting it together. According to them, they're waiting on pistons. I'm not going to mention any names right now, but we're supposed to be going to streetcar bragging rights, and I'm supposed to be bringing my Trailblazer there to race in the heavyweight class, and I don't even have a motor yet. And we got some more parts to put in that thing, which I'm very excited about, and here we are, still waiting on a motor. We're supposed to test next month in March, And then April, we're driving from New York all the way down to North Carolina for the race and be down there for almost a week. And I'm still stuck here waiting. But not much I can do about at this point. But hope and pray it gets here. I think I picked out the color we're going to go with on this. And I think I picked out a name for it too that's very fitting. Not telling you what it is just yet. I'll release that soon. But I've never painted a full vehicle, so it should be fun and a great learning experience, which I'm really looking forward to actually. So I gotta find a company to work with that I want to buy all the paint from that has the color I want and get all that ordered, because before you know it, we're gonna be ready to start painting this thing, and I need to be ready for that. Because once I got this framework done and have this a rolling chassis again, then we got some body work to do. Truck's in great shape, but there's some spots on the firewall I want to fill, so I got to make some patch panels and weld those in and make all that look nice. There are so many little clips and holders on this frame that I missed. All right, I think we're ready to start taking this frame down. I got a new tool to try. So pick this thing up at Harbor Freight. And it's just got this real abrasive disc. I also have one that has metal bristles on it. So it's like a wire wheel, but this is a tumbler, it rolls. And it's supposed to be pretty aggressive to take off paint and rust and all of that. So I'll bring you guys over here. I don't want to get you too close, but let's give this thing a try, see what the results are. Ooh, that's aggressive. Oh, I like this thing. This thing works good. Look, a couple seconds, and it's not removing metal. It's just getting down to the bare metal. Hammer away on this thing a little bit and see what we can get done. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Oh, fun. Say hi, everybody. Mr. Patriot Pro Tools is here.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, my friend.
What's a good word?
Brought you some goodies today.
Oh, what you got, man?
First and foremost, the most
yes,
recent.
I
know you
needed
like to
this.
look through those.
Yes.
A pair of socks to keep your feet warm and dry.
I wanted to try these.
They're really awesome. They're made of a bamboo synthetic fiber, so they're antibacterial and they're odor resistant, and my guys love them.
No kidding.
So keep your feet warm and dry when you're...
I've been meaning to try a pair of these.
Well, now you can.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Anytime. So this I had on special last week. This is an extra long nylon plastic trim tool and pry bar. It's made out of a composite nylon and plastic material. So it won't scratch a painted surface and it won't mar a plastic surface. You got a built-in clip lifter on the end of the 45 there, a little extra ass built in there for rigidity and strength, and then a tapered wedge on this side so you can shove it between a door panel and a door to pop it off. You can use it for lockouts.
That's going to be perfect because I got to take my doors apart. See? And I just broke the little one I had. So
I know you well enough that you needed this in your life.
Absolutely.
Good for moldings, trim, bezels, covers, stuff like that where you don't want to put a metal surface to it. You got to put a little extra force on it to get it off.
Hell yeah.
That. And then a set of the 3 different universal hooks that we offer. So these ones are the orange solid, so they won't bend. The green ones are flexible, so you can mold them to the shape that you need depending on the workspace that you're in.
Okay.
Good for hanging calipers, hoses, stuff like that. And then the blue ones are the same, they're just really heavy duty, so they're bigger and they'll hold more weight.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know about these.
Yep, so I figured I'd
bungee cords are not ideal.
Bungee cords, coat hangers can get a little worn out. These things will hold up, and they're a bright color too, so more than likely you're not going to forget to take them out.
Oh, check this out. Those hooks are neat, and I need this. We're going to be taking the doors apart soon, so this is going to be perfect. Awesome, man.
And the shop banners that we talked about to dress the place up a little bit for you.
Hell, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, brother, anytime.
Awesome. Oh, let me show you. Got a banner made for his business. Let's go take a look at that. Thanks, man. Set that stuff here. Check this out. So we got a new shop banner for after hours came in. So the quality's pretty good. I just was doing a test run on these.
Nice and heavy duty, hanging inside, outside at car shows.
I got the extra strong rivets that they offered.
Want to.
This way, if you want to take this out on displays for car shows or charities.
That looks amazing. And it won't go sailing into the wind. You can secure it down really nice.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic. Thanks, brother.
Well, this one's mine.
Oh, okay.
And you can have this one.
This one. Awesome. Fantastic.
All right, let me talk to you for a minute. I'll get ready. I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. Hang on. Well, that was a nice visit. All right, guys, we're going to get back to work. My buddy Teddy stopped by, as you saw. Brought me a bunch of cool little things. Really appreciate that. Like I said, small businesses make this world, so you guys, we all got to stick together. I'm going to get back to grinding on this frame, and I'll do a time lapse with you for a little bit so you can see some of it, and then we'll bring you back into some detail work. Hi. Say hi, Dylan.
Hey.
My buddies came over, hang out for a little while, so we're putting them to work. Yeah, see if you can clean up this shit.
Okay.
Clean up this like whole bracket.
Okay.
You'll go through those like stupid fast, and they just unscrew off the top. Yeah, like hold this, and this just literally, it's just a little thing. But you'll go through it like stupid fast. There's a whole bag of them right there.
All right.
You don't have to push hard. You'll see, like if you just like go at an angle a little bit. Yeah, just go at an angle, and it'll strip it down real quick. Here's the air compressor. We gotta blow ourselves off. You don't want to get back in your car looking like that. Oh, you're getting dusty. There, that's better. All right. Nice. What do you got? What are we on there? 40 grip?
Something like that.
I think those are the 40 grip
80.
pads. That one's 80?
80,
All right, I would think I brought you 40s or 60s.
Okay, cool.
But Dylan's just knocking down all the high shit. Dylan's knocking down all the high stuff on these weird angles with the right angle die grinder, because we can't get into them with the flap disc. And then we use that barrel sander that I was using before to get in and take down all the big heavy flat spots. You got the skittle here today?
Yep.
Nice, we'll have to go look at that.
All right.
He's got a pretty cool little car. I call it the skittle because it's very bright, but it's pretty neat. He's been working on that. How long have you had that? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll show you guys that car before he leaves. Let's go look at the skittle. Oh, it's in the dark. I gotta grab a flashlight. As always, it's after hours here, so it's pitch black outside. But I'm gonna show you guys Dylan's car. Pretty cool. We're not against imports here. I used to have a bunch. Oh, she's all clean.
All over it. It looked like it was white.
Nice. What year is this? 2017?
As clean as it's gonna get for the middle of February.
Right? Nice, man. And what turbo you got on this now?
It's a
Turbo Technics S280.
one of the more common turbo swaps on these.
Yep.
Cheap, easy kit.
Nice.
Hasn't been dynoed yet, but it should be around 300 through the wheel.
Nice. It only weighs what?
2,600 pounds.
Exactly. Pop the hood on this thing. One slow ST. Nice, man. Everything's so stuffed in these cars.
I know, there's no room.
Such a nightmare to work on.
Somehow fit a 3-inch intake in there.
You gotta pull the battery out, put it in the trunk. Yeah, you can't even see the turbo in here.
No,
it's hidden.
It's down at the bottom. Eventually, I'll get a top mount kit for it, but that's another $1,800
Yep.
just to have it mounted on top. I'm not that worried.
Don't rush it, man. It's a cool little car. Can't beat it because it's fun and it handles good and it still gets good gas mileage. So you can't really beat that.
28 on a good day.
28 miles to the gallon?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I haven't owned a vehicle that got 28 miles to the gallon in 20 years. Very cool, man.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right, I'll start it up.
Cool. That cold start. At the cold start burble. Nice, man. I appreciate your help today, buddy. You're always welcome to come hang out. Okay. Extra set of hands always is cool to have.
I don't mind.
Cool, man. All right, buddy.
All right.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you,
problem.
brother. Absolutely, bud. Anytime. Appreciate your help. You can hear the turbo just whistling in that thing for such a little engine. It's always nice having an extra set of hands. Look at all this frozen snow and ice. Oh, I can't wait for summer. Honestly, I'd be happy with 40 degrees right now, but. All right, well, we almost got the frame where we want it. I got to clean up inside these brackets a little bit more. I'm going to work on that off camera. And like I said, we're not trying to get it perfect down to bare frame. We just want to knock all the heavy rust off. This is all getting cut off, and so is the center section. So we're not worried about those, but we're just going to knock all the high rust off. We got it looking pretty good. Then we'll give it a good wipe down with cleaner. Get a coat of primer on this thing. All right, well, that's enough for today. I'm gonna go enjoy some family time, and I will be back out here tomorrow, and I will see you guys in a second, basically. All right, we're back in the shop. It is 10:30 Friday night. Just getting out here. I was in the office till 7:30 doing paperwork. That was fun. Not fun. Nope. But anyways, frame update. So my battery died when I was filming. Not last night. I didn't get out here last night, but the night before. We pretty much got everything sanded down, and then there was some light surface rust on a lot of the frame, just from moisture in the air and getting it all down to bare metal. And then the insides of the frame rails, we didn't take to bare metal, but it had light surface rust. We just wire wheeled it. So we got a coat of rust encapsulator from Eastwood Products on basically everything that's rust. I wasn't worried about right here. We're cutting that out. But so it's looking good. I'll show you up in there. That's inside the front coil buckets. We got it painted. So that's looking sweet. It's all coming together. So got a package delivery. Some motion goodies. So you can, I got both my hands to work with. Now on the S10, we're gonna be cutting some of that rear cross member out for the Funkhauser race cars 9-inch rear end and the anti-roll bar that he sells. He's got a beautiful kit. We're going to be doing monoliths. He has his own traction bars, very similar to Calvert or Assassin bars, but he does his own, so obviously I went with him. Gotta love Motion. They're always on point with their decals. I wonder if they sent me candy. Sometimes you get candy. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Cool. So, steering wheel stuff. Center horn button. We got steering joint for the steering shaft. The other steering joint. Hardware. Do that in a minute. There you go, guys. They got it. Candy is on point. I don't really eat candy, even though I'm fat. Not a candy guy. But it's cool. I usually give them to my nieces or nephews or someone's kid. That's our part of our steering shaft setup. If you can't guess what is in this package. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to ball out and get the big fancy GPI wheel. Is it GPI? MPI? But we got their standard wheel. Just a nice clean look. I have held these before and they are very comfortable, very good on the grip. And you still have your button cutouts. So, Motion Raceworks. So, nice, simple, clean steering wheel, something I can always upgrade later. If I want to get the fancy one for the S10, I can put this steering wheel in the iRock or one of our other projects. These guys don't mess around when they package. There's more cardboard in here. Oh, and I couldn't find my mic, so hopefully the camera's actually getting decent audio. More cardboard. Oh my gosh, it's gonna end. It's like a whole forest worth of trees in this box. Multiple parts. There it is. This is what we were digging in this box to get. I forgot actually that they were sending the steering stuff in this package, but we don't know what this is already. Our parachute mount from Motion. They make a kit specifically for the S10. And I'm opening this now because I think I need part of this to do something that I want to do on the frame. So here's your rear mount section. There's a receiver tube that goes across from the frame rail, and this slides into that so you can actually take your parachute off if you're not going to the track, you're just driving around or to work on it. And this is the part I want to show you guys. Like I said, Motion doesn't mess around when they're packaging stuff. See a lot of people complain about their pricing, all of that stuff, and you can buy it cheaper somewhere else. I'll tell you what, I have the cheaper stuff, and don't get me wrong, I buy the cheaper stuff sometimes too, but you won't get better customer service, and you won't find a better group of guys doing stuff for our community, being innovative, in my opinion, and providing great quality stuff. Everything they have is well thought out, well engineered, they work great. You look at how many pro level drivers run their stuff. They don't do that just because they're sponsored. They do that because it's good products. I run some Motion stuff on my Camaro, I run some Motion stuff on my Trailblazer, and I've never had a single issue. Especially the TBM brakes now that are part of Motion, those brakes are amazing. First time I put those tiny little rotors and those tiny little calipers on my 5,000 pound Trailblazer, and that thing stopped faster than it ever had from 140 miles an hour. I was sold. So this is our crossmember piece. I'll bring you over to the truck real quick and show you what we're doing. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay out here tonight. It's been a really long week, I ain't gonna lie, and I'm really tired of winter. But if you want something done, you got to get it done. So with the Funkhauser kit, they typically cut right here and take this section out, throw it in the garbage, and they leave this section as your cross support. But with this parachute mount, this bolts right in here like that, which is going to lock the rear of this frame rail in. So what I'm going to do is bolt this in, and then I'm going to cut that whole entire cross member out, because that anti-roll bar that he sells actually has its own cross member that bolts in there. So parachute mount is going to be the rear cross member, and the anti-roll bar mount is now going to be, and shock mount also, is now going to replace that cross member. So we can cut that whole section out, save a bunch of weight, and still have new race parts installed. Here's the other thing I was going to. It took me a second. I had to think about this. A lot going on. I mentioned it several times, probably in this video, but these front frame rail horns are getting cut off. You got to forgive me. I filmed this stuff over the course of a week, and then I put it out there for you, so I obviously repeat myself. I try to edit some of it out, but it doesn't all come out. I'm going to go look at the instructions for that. We'll do that off camera. I won't bother you with that, but these are going to get cut off somewhere here. So before I take a Scotch-Brite and scuff all of the rust encapsulator and we prime the whole frame, I'm going to cut these off a little bit further this way than where the directions say. And then I'm also going to cut that whole rear section out, cut the bump stops out of the rear. Sorry, I wasn't showing you anything. Cut the bump stops out of the rear, cut that bracket off that's right there. That's where the brake line used to drop into. Get those cut off. This way all of that's out of the way. We'll ground that all down. Cut these two off, and then we can prime the frame. So this hole here are where the upper control arm mounts to. And according to 417 Motorsports instructions, you go from the center of this hole 2 3/4 of an inch. So 2 3/4 is right there. Double check myself here. Center of hole. Yep. Oh, that looks good there. Now we got to try and get a straight edge across this. Difficult process. So we gotta float it. So that ain't gonna work. So what's gonna be the best way to do this? I have an idea. I'll be right back. I'm not sure this is the best way to do this, but it's the way I'm doing it. And I will double check myself here. Pretty good. Actually looks pretty good. That's what we ended up with. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna make this mark here. I like that. And then this side. Okay, we're back. I got my 2 top lines made. So right here, 2 3/4 back from center of that hole. And then my first one was a little off. So this one with the arrow on it right here is 2 3/4 from that hole in the center. So what we're gonna do, like I said, for right now, I'm gonna come back like an inch, cut that right off on both sides. Compressor. All right, I'm gonna put you guys on fast forward. I'll cut both of these things off. That's done. All right, we're back at it. Now Saturday, and what a morning. Physical therapy. Then after physical therapy, loaded up my tractor, took it over to my friend's shop, had to pull a dump truck out of the backwoods that had been sitting there for a long time. Ended up falling, smashing my shin, landed on my shoulder that I just had physical therapy on. Great times. So it's been a morning. And now we're running out of time because today is Valentine's Day and I only got a couple hours before I gotta go get dinner and spend the evening with my wife. So we're gonna set up the plasma cutter and see how that thing runs because I've been eager to try this thing out. Hopefully everything works good. If it doesn't, you're gonna see. I got these are actual welding glasses. I don't recommend using these for extensive welding, but they should work great for light welding and the plasma cutter. So we're gonna give this thing a shot. Hey Chance, you're gonna have to get out of the way, buddy. What? Nope. Love you too, buddy. Such a good boy. All right, let's get to work. Roll it down. Go. So first things first, never used plasma cutter. It's been years since I have, so I'm not sure I'll do everything right, but we're gonna find out. Put your ground clamp. Make sure you got a good ground close to your cutting surface. I have the air line hooked up to the back here. I still can't find my mic, by the way, so if audio is a little off, I apologize. You got your torch. Power this thing. It's not powering on. Let's go see why. It's not powering on. There we go. And it's off. All right, not sure what was really going on with that, but let's give her a shot.
So far, so good.
One piece. Used a plasma cutter in probably 15 years. This is not a how-to video. I'm just playing. this would likely much be better done with a grinder. I think that's about it for me. My freaking shoulders hurt. I gotta let my compressor catch up. Look like Bugman in these things. Enough playing around. Let me put this hot torch down. I'm gonna show you guys some stuff. It's really aggravating. I can't find my mic. So, anyways, this is what the torch did. Like I said, you can do this with that angle grinder. That's what I'm gonna come back in here and do. I just really wanted to play with my toy and get a feel for it since it's been so many years. Oh, you're really dirty. There, that's better. So we cut this cross member out. Like I said, we got this one for the parachute mount bolted in, which is holding our frame rails. And then got this side cut out and just absolutely butchered that old bump stop mount, which we're just gonna come back in here with the grinder like you should do in the first place and grind those welds and then just knock this bracket out and then you can flap disc it smooth. I'm gonna get the grinder out, take the rest of these off, clean this all up. I'll show you when I'm done. Well, guys, sadly, I did not get as far as I wanted to for this video, but it is now probably midnight, Saturday night, and this video has to go up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. It might even be Sunday. I don't know. But frame's up, almost prepped. Frame horns are cut off. We still got to grind out. That's hot. We still got to finish grinding this weld. We got all the brackets cut back inside, all the edges ground down. Everything looks real nice in there. Same thing on this side. Everything's cut and ground down and cleaned up. We have the parachute bar from Motion Raceworks installed, tightened down, looking a lot better. It's just not where I wanted to be, but I'd rather get a video up for you guys on schedule. I know some of you are counting on it, so I don't want to disappoint. Next week, I promise, I'll give you guys my word. You can hold me to it. I don't care if I get the flu. Hope I didn't just jinx myself. I will finish painting this frame. We have right here, we have the Eastwood chassis black primer. And then we have the Eastwood chassis black in high gloss. We're going to do the frame all in high gloss. So I'll get everything ground down. We'll get everything in primer. We'll let that cure. We'll scuff that with a Scotch-Brite. And then we'll go back, hit it with 2 coats of chassis black. And next week's video, we are going to have that K member on the truck. So as always, subscribe, follow, share, do all that cool stuff. It really helps out a new channel. You don't think about it when you watch the same guys over and over again, but For a new channel, it's super helpful, and I appreciate all the support and love I've gotten so far from everybody. Let's grow something big and beautiful with this. Remember, nothing stays stock. I'm out.